The Endless Search. In the summer of 1967, in the small town of Orăști, Romania, a young man named Adrian Voicu spent his weekdays stacking shelves at the local supermarket. His life was simple, yet he longed for adventure. On a warm Saturday morning, he decided to take his loyal German shepherd, Rolf, on a weekend hike through the dense forests of the Șureanu Mountains. After hours of walking, they reached a vast, rocky area. Adrian took off his backpack, pulled out a sandwich, and sat on a large boulder to enjoy the view. Rolf, always restless, sniffed around. Suddenly, the dog stiffened, ears perked, and bolted down the rock. Adrian, startled, shouted after him, but Rolf ignored him and ran toward a shadowy crevice beneath the rocks. Adrian climbed down hurriedly, finding his dog barking furiously at the mouth of a small cave. The entrance was barely visible among the jagged stones. Before Adrian could react, Rolf darted inside. "Rolf, come back," Adrian called, his voice echoing in the darkness. Fumbling, he unclipped the flashlight from his cargo shorts and followed his dog inside. The air was damp, and the tunnel was narrow. He crouched as he moved forward, the beam of light revealing rough, uneven walls. He heard Rolf barking but couldn't pinpoint the direction. The sound seemed to bounce around him, growing fainter. After what felt like an hour of searching, Adrian checked his watch. He was shocked to see that nearly 2 hours had passed. He still couldn't find Rolf, and an eerie uneasiness crept over him. He had no choice. He had to leave. But as he turned to retrace his steps, he realized he had lost his way. The cave branched into multiple tunnels, each looking the same. His heartbeat quickened. Desperation fueled his movements as he wandered blindly through the maze-like cavern. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, he saw an opening in the distance. He hurried towards it. The air grew colder with each step. As he emerged, an icy breeze cut through his thin summer clothes. His surroundings had changed. The lush green landscape was gone. The trees were bare, their skeletal branches trembling under heavy raindrops. He shivered as he stepped onto the wet ground. It was almost dark. He looked at his watch. It was still summer, still hours before sunset. Yet everything around him screamed winter. Confused and freezing, Adrian stumbled through the unfamiliar landscape. His stomach growled, but he had no food left. He pressed on, hoping to find shelter. Eventually, he reached a road. Cars passed by occasionally, their headlights piercing the darkness. He waved at them, but none stopped. Finally, an old blue van pulled over. The driver, a middle-aged man with a thick mustache, eyed him suspiciously. "Where are you headed?" the man asked in English. Adrian, though fluent in Romanian and some Russian, struggled with English. He mentioned Orăști, but the driver looked puzzled. "Never heard of it," he said. "I was hiking, got lost," Adrian explained. The driver squinted at his damp summer clothes. "Who hikes in winter dressed like that?" he muttered. The van pulled into a gas station. Adrian stumbled out, dazed. He walked into a small shop, hands shaking. "You okay, son?" the shopkeeper asked. Adrian hesitated, then asked, "Where am I?" The man chuckled. "You're in Minnesota, buddy. Minneapolis." Adrian felt his stomach drop. That wasn't possible. He had been in Romania just hours ago. The cave. It had done something to him. He wasn't just lost. He was gone. I'm lost, Adrian mumbled. I need a sandwich. He handed over a few Romanian lei. The shopkeeper raised an eyebrow. What's this? Monopoly money? Adrian's pulse pounded in his ears. His pockets held nothing but outdated currency. He turned to leave, but something caught his eye. A rack of newspapers. He grabbed one, his fingers trembling as he read the date. December 2nd, 1995. He staggered back, heart racing. Then, something even stranger happened. As his eyes adjusted to the fluorescent lights, he noticed an old, weathered notebook on the shop's counter. The leather cover was cracked, the pages yellowed. The title was faint but legible. Adrian Voicu. His name. His handwriting. It's mine, Adrian exclaimed, showing his photo ID from his wallet. The shopkeeper said an old fellow with long gray hair and beard left it there. He mentioned someone will come for it, the shopkeeper added. With shaking hands, he opened it. Inside were notes, scribbles, and diagrams detailing locations, dates, and a single underlined sentence. Find the cave again. He flipped through feverishly, recognizing his own past thoughts. Thoughts he hadn't yet written. Instructions were scrawled across the last page. Someone will find this. If it's me, follow the path back. It won't stay open forever. His breath caught, his heart pounded. He had left this for himself. But when? And how many times had he done this before? The shopkeeper eyed him warily. You okay, kid? Adrian clutched the notebook, his mind a storm of fear and realization. Somewhere out there, in the cold darkness, was a cave, a door through time, and he had to find it again before it closed forever. And that's the end of the story. Hope you learned something new. Thanks for watching.